My name is Nurtle, and today we are going to be talking about a Battlefield Hardline. So, ultimately, Battlefield Hardline was a disappointment in my eyes. In other people's eyes, it might be the best Battlefield game in the franchise. Not many people, I think, really think that, but the people that do are okay. Um, but so today I'm just going to discuss what is wrong with Battlefield Hardline and what made it a bad idea and an overall disappointment to a lot of people. So the first thing that we obviously have to talk about when we're talking about Battlefield Hardline is the cops and robbers sort of storyline, and they're basing everything off of cops and robbers. You GTA pulled it off very nicely. I mean, because they've been doing it for forever. But Battlefield wanted to get in on that money, so they tried to make a game, and it didn't really work out for them. It just really wasn't a, oh my gosh, this is a Battlefield that I will play forever. It's just not like that. Um, they really didn't. They made some mistakes in the cops and robbers idea that really cost them a lot. So the second thing that I have to talk about is in the multiplayer aspect of things, and this is they had tiny maps. When you go on Conquest, you can see that they just have tiny maps. Compare those to Battlefield 4 and you will be very underwhelmed, and I know I was. Um, so, and also that leads to less vehicle use. Um, the one good thing about that was it was less sniping campers, but other than that, we in a Battlefield game we don't want small maps. Just the battle or that's just the bottom line of Battlefield. We don't want small maps. Make them big. Make them as big as you can. So the next thing I have to talk about is also about the multiplayer, and they just made it weird. So I can see that they tried to make it appeal more to new users, okay? And this is because the money system. So whenever you do something good, you get a certain amount of money, and with that money you can buy anything. This appeals to new players because they're not going to be outmatched because they're a level 1 and someone else is a level 25. Okay, they have the same chance of being equal because of their weapon choices. So that in my opinion was kind of weird. It was kind of straying away from the original Battlefield concept where you rank up. You when you start you're not going to be good, but when you keep going and you keep trying, you are eventually going to be good and you're going to get the stuff that you want. I kind of like that. Other people may disagree, and I mean, I can hear their arguments, but bottom line is, for me, I would rather not have that money aspect. So the next thing I have to talk about is the single player. So the single player was pretty good. I honestly did like the single player, but it was very unrealistic. Battlefield is known for their realistic campaigns, and I think they kind of strayed away from this. And this is because if the cops in this game were actual, if this is how cops acted, there everyone would be a dirty cop. They say that they're a dirty cop in the end, but it has nothing to do what real cops actually do. Even in an intense drug war, they're not going to cuff someone. Not they don't read them their rights. They're not going to cuff someone if they have a gun and they're in a bad guy territory. They're not going to do that, and they're definitely not going to leave them there. They're not going to leave them on the ground cuffed. I don't know why this kind of rubbed me the wrong way, but it really did. I didn't like that. It was not how cops actually act. So the final thing that I have to talk about is the vehicles. So Battlefield has always been known for their great vehicle. You have helicopters, you have everything you can imagine. In this game, it was horrible. They had the weirdest vehicle mechanics, first of all. It felt like you were playing GTA because you could do a weird backflip off of a ramp. That's not what Battlefield's about at all. Um, and also, the vehicles were not fun. They're not fun to drive. There's no practical reason to use the vehicles. As as in, like, if you're playing as a Jeep in Battlefield 4, you will have a gunner on your back and you can mow through some people. If you're playing as a Jeep in or a cop car in this, there's no, I mean, it has a gun, but it's not good. Also, it's super unrealistic because the cop cars do not look anything like what actual cop cars or SWAT cars would look like. It's so unrealistic. Um, so that is why I was disappointed about Battlefield Hardline. I'm keeping my hopes up for Battlefield 1, and from the looks of it, it looks amazing, and it looks like they're trying to recreate Battlefield 4. And overall, Hardline wasn't a bad game. It had its ups. I mean, it really did. But it did have those things that made it fall. And I don't think Battlefield 1 will have those things. I think they've learned from Hardline. You know if a game's bad if your developer is funding the game before that and advertising more about Battlefield 4 than Battlefield Hardline because no one plays it. The story was good. Well, the story was and other than that, I just don't play it anymore. It's not enjoyable anymore. So, thank you so much for watching. If you agree, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. If you didn't agree, make sure to do the same because why not? um, so thank you so much for watching. This has been a Nurtle Turtle.